interesting how people react to different ways, that especially with samples. Like some people can use a sample and literally someone else use it the exact same way. One is whack, one is great. It's just always, I've never fully understood or realized why that is, even though I have my ideas, but
because it's personal opinion. That's all it is, you know. And then some people are just influenced by whatever the masses tell them. So it's just corny, dude. Like, you know, I feel for the most part, people that listen to my material and what I put out now are people that have individual originality. You know, just look, let's say over the last 2-3 weeks, DJ Eclipse and Riz, Classic Storm Radio, FTSR, East New York Radio, WSB Stony Brook. I mean, I could just keep on naming more and more and more, and they love it. And what do I care? It's like, how many dudes actually put out material and never get played on a real radio station? I do it all the time. It's a layup in the gym for me all day. Not being cocky, but I have my constituents that like the type of material that I make, and that makes me feel good. So I'm all good about it. You know, I'm not going to think about a hiccup in 1997 when it's 2022. That means I can go back to fucking 1975 and find some shit that I did wrong. And, you know, I guess that's why there's therapy.
Yeah. But that being said, too, when the Anomaly came out, I remember, of course, liking it a lot. But at the same time, I had been listening to these singles over the years. So I wasn't, quote unquote, surprised that you sounded good or that you had Large Professor or any of these things. So what was the feeling or the reaction you were getting when Anomaly was coming out?
It was incredible. And I'll tell you, is the Anomaly Reloaded. Y'all can get that. See, we got the CDs too, T-shirts, everything. I was very surprised. I was surprised that Large Professor, Lord Finesse, Psycho Les, Ayatollah Beats, Team Demo, Operator M's, all these people wanted to work with me. I'll say one thing, Operator M's was always a believer in me. Always. That's my boy. M's will love you, baby. It felt great. Like, you know, like I said, I've been going, so how many years is from 97 to 2016?
Almost 20.
It's like 19 years, man.
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
No. It was 19. So excuse me, I said 15. It was 19 years.
And going from volume 1 with Gots to Get This to then working with Large Professor, like that was the great continuity that I felt, at least, too.
And I got 2 songs with Large Professor on the album. You know, it's just like, it ain't nothing. Like, you know, we stayed brothers. And I appreciate him for what he does. And he's great at it. And I love his work ethic. When do you not see Large Professor cutting up on his Instagram?
Yeah. No,
like, God, what is that record?
I did a lot of great interviews with Large Professor. You can check them out. One right there.
I absolutely will. Absolutely. That's my boy.
But that's tremendous. So what's the status of the next project?
Well, let's see what we got over here. All right, we'll get to that. Well, so, you know, we after this, the Anomaly Reloaded, peace to my man Paragon for doing the artwork. It's great. And peace to Redline Music Distribution. That we got vinyl, CDs. Y'all want cassettes, we can get that too. Everything is possible. Posters and everything. I was just like, okay, I came back. I did the Powerule thing. This is great. I'm doing a lot of interviews. I see a lot of college charts that the song is great, doing well on. I remember at one point in time, it was just like glorifying praise and Royce, one of the Royce the 5'9" songs going 1 and 2 back on all these charts. And I was like, wow, because I really like Royce the 5'9". And he's another individual that I think has just gotten better with time. And I called it, man. When he got nominated for the Grammy, D Smoke got nominated for the Grammy. Who were the other? Nas. There was somebody else. Who was the other one that got nominated that year for the Grammy 2 years ago?
I don't really follow the Grammys, unfortunately.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I was just like, these are incredible albums. And Royce the 5'9" album was my favorite by far. He should have won, but they're supposed to give it to Nas because they messed up on him before.
A few times.
Yeah, they did a De Niro on him. You know, so they was like, here you go. They did a Denzel and they did a De Niro. Okay, we're going to give it to you for Training Day. Okay, De Niro, we're going to give it to you for this. I mean, Pacino. Okay, Pacino, we're going to give it to you for Scent of a Woman. You know, anyway. But I just kind of was like floating in limbo. I didn't know exactly what I really wanted to do. But then this wonderful thing called gentrification hit my neighborhood. And I started to see a lot of people not moving willingly, but being pushed out monetarily. And when they were pushed out, it'd be like 3 or 4 young kids that were not from New York City that came here to Williamsburg, which is the mecca of gentrification. We want to come and make it, we can afford $1,200 each. Well, you put 4 $1,200 kids in an apartment that was $1,500 and you're making $4,800 for a 2-bedroom. Of course, you're going to get kicked out. You know, they can't wait to break that lease or do something. You know, these are families that have worked and lived on those blocks, paid their rent diligently, constantly, all the time, and were displaced for monetary reasons. Do I understand monetary reasons sometimes? Yes. But where the landlords come into play, and they're just like, oh, we got to deal with rent control and this and that, and we ain't make it like we making it now. You know, you can't think that I'm wrong about it. Who's wrong is the city and the cities that this is happening in, whether it's Oakland, Detroit, you know, I'm sure it's happening over there too. I remember
it's happening everywhere.
Right, it's happening everywhere. I remember when it was happening in Echo Park in Silver Lake. Way back then. I see now, I was just like, this is Echo Park? This is Silver Lake.
Yeah, I'm from Maryland, and the last time it was been a couple of years, but when I went to D.C. and I hadn't been in a few years, I was like, whoa, this is not the D.C. I grew up going to all the time. Like, wow.
No. And there's good and there's bad about it. But the most important thing is that what it does, it takes away from the authenticity of that city that you came to for a reason. Why'd you come there? Why'd you come to New York? Let me ask you a question. Why you came to New York? Oh, you know, the art, the culture, the city, everything. Now, when you walk around here, do you see any of that? Because every fucking mom and pop store that was on this fucking block has been replaced by a wine store and a fucking coffee shop. So tell me, what the fuck do you see here that's New York? Because basically, everybody's just like you. You're not having new experiences with new people. What this is basically like a fucking dating app for people that come through from all these different places and they feel like I'm the original one and I'm the most creative in my town and nobody understands me. And I'm gonna come over here. And you think you're gonna be so original and everybody's gonna understand you though, because they're so original too. And then you find out you're all the fucking same, man. Y'all don't know what adversity is. Now, you can conceptually tell yourself, well, I got up at 18 years old and I moved to New York City. Where the fuck did you move to though? Really, where'd you move to? Oh, you moved to Williamsburg. Okay. Yeah, that's great. I can see that, the crime rate must have been so high and things must have been real difficult from you. You must have learned a lot of lessons. It's just a fucking joke. So one day I'm helping my neighbor move across the street and he's been living there for 25 years. And me and my homegirl was over there, HD. And she's the one that actually really told me the story. I seen him afterwards. She was just like, I just spoke to him and he moved. And I was like, why is he moving? Because they kicked him out because they raised the rent and he couldn't afford it and he had to move somewhere else. And he said, you know what the hipsters that moved him out said? And I said, what? He's like, well, that's good. We got to get rid of the leftovers.
Wow. There you go.
This is available too. This is the West Side Story leftover shirt. Okay. Now, people don't know the original story of West Side Story had to do with the gentrification and colonization of Midtown Manhattan, of like around Hell's Kitchen. So this has been happening forever. Robert Moses displacing people to put out luxury high rises and moving people out of the city, pushing them into places where they didn't want to live. Anyway, so when I heard that, I got real upset, but it was beautiful because it just gave me a whole new direction. I was just like, now this is what I've been waiting for. I like Powerule, but now this is what I've been waiting for. And like we do, we turn a negative into a positive. So now you got the leftover movement that's been going on for about 3 years now, and now it's finally catching traction. And people are realizing that, wow, they've been talking about this for the last 3 years. But that's how it works. Sometimes it takes a few years for things to catch on, but we caught on now, and we're doing well, and we're gonna keep on pushing with it because it's not stopping. And quite frankly, I don't think that we're ever going to be able to stop it. You can't stop money, man. You just can't. But I'm gonna go down fighting and trying, and then eventually I'll just move to Orlando where Puerto Ricans have gentrified that place. Central Florida is all Puerto Rican. So I got a home base to go to after I've exhausted my physicality to fight for gentrification here in New York City and be the last man standing. I know that I can go to Central Florida and basically be like in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Crazy. Well, there it is. Well, Prince Power, man. That's
hold on. Wait a second. We got to run through a couple of things.
Yes, sir.
Leftover shirt, PRNY. That's on the back. You can go to prny.us and you can order your leftovers shirt. This is the West Side Story one. We also have, when you say the leftovers in Spanish, it's called Las Sobras. Hold on. Las Sobras. That's the leftover in Spanish. Of course, you got the PRNY on the back. Of course, the signature 7 on the sleeve and with your New York apple on it. This is real New York City shit right here. Then you can go to, and we got to do this, y'all, because the merch is important to us. Go get your LeBron album t-shirt from my man Sick Boy Vision. You can go to sickboyvision.com. Just go to Sick Boy Vision's page. He's got a bunch of leftovers material. Everybody that I'm mentioning right now has a link to a whole leftovers store. Okay, these are individuals that I did not grow up with that joined in this movement with me after the fact of seeing the material. Then you can go to my man Babito Ross. He got the Patria o Muerte with the Felipe Luciano, and he's got much more than that. I just haven't received everything, but he's got that. But you can go to La Marqueta, Babito Ross, and he has a ton of leftovers merchandise. You can go see my boy from Boston, Printham, Ricky Rivers. You can get that leftovers Miller High Life right there. That's the leftovers Miller High Life right there. And all y'all Puerto Ricans know how important Miller High Life was to Puerto Ricans in the 70s and 80s. And then, of course, you even got that. You got that leftovers bandana that you can rock also from Printham, the leftovers bandana. And he also has the classic leftover tee with the classic leftovers logo, which is roughly inspired by the Warriors. So, and last but not least, my own products. This is what I do. These are Marconi sunglasses. Yes, we make sunglasses too. This is for the beautiful people out there. Call me, rock me in my DM. I'll send you a pair of Marconis. We can negotiate a price. I already know what I got. Tell me what you got. We can negotiate a price. I got these with the black frames, and I got these with the brown lenses and the black lenses. So we ready to rock, baby.
Well, there it is. Well, Prince Power, man, thanks so much for coming through.
Oh, and by fact, and once again, Bandcamp. Please, I would urge people to buy the stuff on Bandcamp because it actually provides us money to go into the studio and to pay producers like Toast 187, Team Demo, you know, the guys that work with me all the time, you know, and they deserve theirs too. You know what I'm saying? So Bandcamp is essential. Piece of my manager, Sincere, and Uncle E from Get Yours Posse. Those are my guys. They taking care of us. Peace to all the leftover members. I'm not going to run through all of you right now, but people support. You can go to DistroKid and, you know, just go to the leftovers Powerule, and then you can see the link. It says Power, and each link goes to each thing. So please support, and we appreciate your support, and the music will not disappoint. Thank you, Soren.
And thank you. I'm very glad we got to talk, and we'll be doing more interviews again soon, I hope, Prince Power, and congratulations on all this stuff, man. I know you got a lot of great stuff going on, and what I know of is great, so I'm sure the next wave will be great as well.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, and we plan to be around here for a long, long time.
And I want you to listen real close to me. I'm going to ask you some real simple questions, and I want some real simple answers. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
You said that you couldn't have possibly been at the crime scene at 11:15 because you were in the bookstore buying my audio book and my hardcover book at 11:15 when the crime scene occurred in Soren's book.
The history of gangster rap.
So you couldn't have been at the crime scene because you were buying the books.
Right. At 11:15, I was at the bookstore at 11:15, and when I bought the books and accidentally left them at the store.
So at 11:15, you couldn't have been at the crime scene because you were buying books, right?
At 11:15, when I was leaving, it was some people coming in, and I forgot to grab.
But you don't remember who
what they look
people,
like.
what they look like or nothing, right?
No.
So 12:15, you in the bookstore buying my audio book and hardcover book and Soren's book at 12:15. So you couldn't have been at the scene because you were buying the books, right?
Yeah, at 12, exactly, at 12:15 exactly, I was at the bookstore.
Now you see. You know you done fucked up.
Which you
No,
mean?
first you said you were at the bookstore at 11:15, and then you said it was 12:15. You know you done fucked up, man. He fucked up.
Yeah, he fucked up.
He fucked up.
Man, you confusing me, man.
So, you get my book, my audio book, 40 years, and Soren's book, History of Gangster Rap, and if you don't, you know you done fucked up, right?
Man, the more those cops ask me questions, the more I wish I bought them motherfucking books.